Hi guys, this is just a quick video to help you remember how to do some of these things. We're going to be starting today on temperature conversions, 100 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. There's an equation that's on your note sheet, times 9 divided by 5 plus 32. But for those of you that have a graphing calculator, if you go to I just had it. Apps. So you press your apps button right there, and then you go down to where it says, on mine it is number 10, side tools, and you press enter, and then you get this screen. You press enter again. The Sig Fig calculator you're going to find does not work, but if you scan down to the unit converter, press enter, say we want to do temp. So scan down to temp, press enter, and we have 100 degrees Celsius, and it's already at degrees Celsius. Enter, and we want to change that to Fahrenheit, so go back up and tab over to Fahrenheit, and it's 212 degrees Fahrenheit. If you notice here, it's in scientific notation. That's what that E. So that's 2.12 times 10 to the second, or it's 212. Say you wanted to go to the Kelvin, just tab back over. Oops, you have to start over, I guess. 100 degrees Celsius, enter, and then tab over to the Kelvin, enter, and it's 373.15 Kelvin. So I hope that helps you out on the temperature conversions. Now let's flip it over. It's somewhere here. Oh, here it is. Okay, with Sig Figs. Let's do a review of Sig Figs. This is 23 to 29 in your text. My rule is dot left, not right. Dot means there's a decimal point in the number. If there's a decimal point in the number, you start at the first non-zero digit on the left. So here's a decimal point. So I'd go to the left side of the number, but I can't start here because it's a 0, and I can't start here because it's a 0. So I would start counting here, and this would be 1 Sig Fig, 2 Sig Fig. So that would have 2 Sig Figs. Not right means that there's no decimal place, so you start counting on the right. So this has no decimal place, so now I'm on this side of the number that I'm going to start counting on. You never can start at a 0, so I'd start here. So this would be 1 Sig Fig, 2 Sig Figs, 3 Sig Figs. So that has 3 Sig Figs. So if there's a decimal point, you start at the left, but you never start at a 0, and if there's no decimal point, you start at the right, and you never start at a 0. So what if we do a scientific notation here? You ignore this right here, and you just look at this number. So this is dot left, so you start counting from the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would have 5 Sig Figs. This one right here, dot left. So you start counting from the left, but you can't start at a 0, so you can't start there. So you start here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that have 4 Sig Figs. Once you start counting, you keep on counting. It doesn't matter if there's a 0 at the end, if you've already started counting. So this is not right, because there's no decimal point. So you start on the right hand side of the number, but you can't start here because you never started a 0. And you can't start here because you never started a 0. So this would be 1, 2, 3. 3 Sig Figs. If you have any other questions on Sig Figs, let me know. We'll get into adding and subtracting, multiplying, and dividing in class. So let's have a quick refresher of conversion factors. I always write down what I'm given, parenthesis, line, parenthesis. So since I'm given meters here, the unit out front here always goes at the bottom. The unit you're trying to find always goes on top. My rule is the one that gets the prefix always has the 1. And then you look at your metric sheet. If you don't have one, I have one listed in Schoology for you. You would look up kilo, and kilo is 1 times 10 to the 3rd. When you're putting this in your calculator, we have to exit out of here, quit, quit, quit. Alright, nope, quit, exit. Alright, so we have 85. So you have 85. Now a lot of you like to use parentheses. So if you're using parentheses, you have 1 divided by 1. You see that EE button? No, you don't. It's an EE button right here. You have to press, if it's in blue, second EE, and then you'd put 3, and then you have to close your parenthesis. And that gives you 0.085. And the unit here cancels, and you're left with kilometers. There's another way to put this in your calculator. You can go 85 times 1, because you always multiply by what's on top, and then you divide by 1 EE3, and you still get the same answer. Okay? Let's do the next one. The next one is 85 centimeters, so we always start by writing down what we're given, parenthesis, line, parenthesis. And like I said in the first problem, the unit you're given goes on the bottom, and the unit you're looking for goes up top. The one that has the prefix, the kilo, milli, centi, mega, always gets the 1. If you look on your metric prefix sheet, you will see centi is 1 times 10 to the negative 2nd. So the power and the prefix are always opposite. They will never, ever, ever be together. So kilo was up here, but the power was down there. To put this in your calculator, we are going to take 85 times 1 EE negative 2 divided by 1, and it's 0.85. And how do you get the units? Whatever's in front cancels with what's on the bottom, and you're left with meters. This one right here is a fun one. Again, start by writing down what you're given, parenthesis, line, parenthesis. Unit you're given goes on the bottom. Ooh, sorry. So nano goes down here, and this capital M is a mega, and mega goes up top. And again, like I said up here, the power and the prefix are never together. So mega is 1 times 10 to the 6th, and that would go on the bottom because the prefix is on top. The numbers are always opposite. And nano is 1 times 10 to the negative 9th, and that goes opposite. To put this in your calculator, you have 85 times 1 EE negative 9 divided by 1 EE 6, and you get 8.5 times 10 to the negative 14th, and the unit would be megameter because your nanometers cancel. You should always end with the same number of sig figs that your front number was. 2 sig figs, 2 sig figs, 2, 2, 2, 2. Now, this next one is the one that gets everybody crazy because it's cubes. So that means you have to cube what's ever in the parenthesis. So I start with 85 centimeters cubed, parenthesis, line, parenthesis. My centimeter has to go on the bottom, my inch has to go on top. I don't have a relationship between centimeters cubed and inches cubed, but I do know that there's 2.54 centimeters in 1 inch. So I can use this relationship and I can cube everything that's in this parenthesis. You're not cubing this because this is already cubed, but you have to cube this to get your centimeters cubed to cancel. You can do this many different ways in your calculator. I am going to put it in right there. I like to do 1 divided by 2.54. You see this little caret button? Beep. Right there, that little caret button. And I take the answer to the third, and then I multiply by what was first. 85 was first, so then I multiply times 85. And I get 5.187. But this now became, how did I get all messed up there? Let me fix this. So, this is now no longer just a centimeter. This has become centimeters cubed, and this has become inches cubed. So now these units can cancel, and you're left with inches cubed. But I only have 2 sig figs here. How many do I have here? I have 4. So I have to get this to only 2 sig figs, so the answer would be 5.2 inches cubed. There's another way to do this. You can 1 times 1 times 1 up here 3 times, and 2.54 times 2.54 times 2.54 down there, and then multiply if you want to do that. Or you can use your parentheses. Like I said previously, you can take 1 divided by 2.5, oops, forgot my parentheses. Parenthesis 1 divided by 2.54 and cube that, and then times 85, and you get the same answer. So that's a little, we're going to be doing more of these, but this is just a little rough introduction to what we'll be going over. Hope you liked it. Thanks.